In the year of God 401 appeared Attila, who was called Punishment of God. He's come from river Ugra and Ura and now located in the land of Tsar Ivak. His father was named Mandazig. He's come with three brothers, Achar, Rahaz, Blidon. He's come from ocean and come to sea, Adriatic Sea, which between France and Spain. Then when he come to the sea, from Britain was sent a queen named Ursula, who supposed to go for the marry son of English king, and she had 11,000 girls with her. Attila killed the queen and all these 11,000 girls that with her, and the name of Christ they become holy. That first crime which Attila made on Christian people. Then he go around land of French and Italian and went to the sea, to the Croatian land, and come out from sea and took by force Croatian land. He also took by force Hungarian land and built castle Budzin and called himself King of Hungarian. His brothers Achar and Rojas died, and when he was constructing Budzin castle and then he killed his third brother Blidon and became governor of whole Hungary by himself. Also he also took over several small countries besides it. Then when he became king, he repressed Christians and didn't change his behavior. Then he took 500 people and went to Italian land and come to city Aquilea that belonged to Imperator Marcian, and tried to take over Aquilea, and the city was very strong, and there was many Roman soldiers, and he could not took it fast, and he didn't want to lose time, and he went to Italian land further to the Rome, and the Roman dukes and senators that was in the city see how many people run out from the city, and many people run to places where they were fishing before on an island, and become constructing houses at that place and call that place Venice. A duke, his name Apollon, which also was going to Venice, but changed his mind, and he has 500 Roman nobles, and four very high standing Roman. One of them coat of arms Kitovras Dovspungus second coat of arms Chronicle of Prosperce Cesarin, from coat of arms Ursenov Ulian, and coat of arms Rose or Hecktor. And then he went between land of Dutch and to the ocean, and by ocean, and took with him astronomer who understand the route this astronomer was helping him to come, and they come to the place where river Neman come to the sea. Then they went up to the river Neman, to the place they called Little Ocean, Little Sea, which Neman Sea, and по причине, and that more was called Neman Sea, because there is Neman River come out, and there is 12 small rivers had when it was come out to the sea, and called that place Gilia, and then they come to that river Neman, till that river go into one, and they went up to the Neman to river Dubisa, and they come to river Dubisa, found on full of animals, different mountains, and deers, all kind of ox, many fish in the river, foxes, rabbits, all kind of animals. Full of land was full of all kind of animals. Rivers was full all kind of fishes, and some of them fishes come out from the ocean into river. They never see that before, and they like that place. So when on river Dubisa and Neman, they settled and become extends, basically bring more people. That place they call it Zhigimont-10 land, and then Duke Palemo, who born 3 sons, Borg, Kunos, and Spera. Old son Borg created on river Uraz castle, and united that name with the river, which now called Ura, and Borg, and built a castle. Now that castle called Urborg, and middle son Kunos come to the river Nevaje, where it's connected to River Neumann, and created castle, and then it now it has castle called Kunosov Castle. A third son, Spera, went further on sunrise and went over River Nevyaja and to River Saint and third River Shervinta, and come and found the lake that was many wide good land around, trees, and like that place, and called that lake Spera by his name. A Dovspung from Goto farm Kitovras went by River Saint and found place beautiful, look like and built himself castle called Vilkamir. Some called himself Duke Dieltovsky, and become start to extend their family there. Then we come to the next, and a certain time later, Spera lived many years and was very kind with people, and then died, didn't leave sons, and people created idol and called him Spera, and then start consider him as God, and when this idol was destroyed, they consider the place where idol was standing assigned place, and then lived without duke by themselves, and we return to previous. Some time later died his brother Borg, who lived in Urborg and didn't have kids, and his brother Kunos took part of brother Borg, Zamak Urborg, and become governor of his part. And Duke Kunos had two sons. One Kernus, a second Gimbut, and he lived in Zhigimont-10 land and extend his family, and start crossing the river Vilia and they crossed river Vilia, found river Saint, beautiful place, and settled his son Kernus, and there, and they called the city the name of Kernus Kernov. Now, and then Kernus died, and after he's on all land behind the Vilia River till border with Latvia and Braslav till river Двина правил его сын Кернус. А брат его Гимбут правил в Юрборке и Кунове и во всей земле and all land of Žemaitija. And same time Kernus was governor in land behind the river Vilia, and people who settled behind Vilia played on tubes, dubasnych, special tubes. They call it dubasnych, and they called Kernus Bank on his own Italian language. Latin is called litus, where people extended where tubes on they played on tubes, and they call it tuba, and called people who settled behind Lea and on Latin. They connected bankment and tuba. They called listubania. And people who lived there, other people, no, not Romans, who did not speak Latin, they become simple, call it Litva. They, for them, called Listubania, it was complicated. They call it Litva. And from that time, country become a name Litva, and start increased, and then a great Duke Kernus and Gimbut wanted to increase country and took all army of Litva and Zhymatia and went on Rus to Braslav and Polotsk, and many problem created and took people in to themselves. And that time when they were in a Rus fighting, like some people called Latish, and who lived on ocean sea bankment, they heard that Duke Kernus not in Litva and Duke Gimbut not in Zhymatia, and they went to Zhymaitian land and they created many problems. And then Duke Gimbut come from Rus to Zhymaitia and see that his land destroyed, Zhymaitian land. Then he went to Latish and killed them all. And some of them take to Zhymaitia and made their land empty. And made the land empty, return to Zhymaitia. And after they after he left to bankment, sea bankment of Latvia, went from Germans and settled on that place where lived Latish, and become over there lords and call themselves Livonians. A Grand Duke Kernus was governor in Litva, Duke Gimbut in Zhymaitia, and they were governing long time and lived in peace. Then Kernus lived many years in Litva and died in deep old by his own death, and left after himself on great Duchy of Lithuania his son Zhigimont. Gimbut was Duke of Zhymaitia many years, and and died and left on Zhigimont his son Montville. And when governing of Montville raised Tsar Bati and went on to Rus land, and all Rus land destroyed, and many Russian dukes killed and took over, and Kiev Rus was destroyed, and Rus land was empty. And he heard that simple people lived without duke, and they called themselves Druchani. He took his army and went to Drutsk and settled in the land of Drutsk, and rebuilt walls of Drutsk, and called himself Duke of Drutsk. At the same time, Duke of Zhigimont and Montville, that Russian side become empty, and the Russian dukes was destroyed, and he gave his son Erdvil army and sent them from Kalumna, from Herb Kalumna, coat of arms Kalumny, and name of Grumpia, and second Ursinov, name Yakshis, and third Rose from Rose, coat of arms Rose, name Grovzhis, and they went over river Vilia, then took over river Neman, and found 4 miles from Neman beautiful mountains, and they created city called Novogradak, and here Grand Duke Erdvil built a capital and called himself Duke Novogradak, and from Novogradak, and he went from Novogradak and built another city, Gorodeny. Then went to Brest, Bereses, Dragichin, and Melnik. All of the cities were destroyed by Tsar Bati, Mongolian, and he rebuilt all these cities, and became duke in them. And then Grand Duke Zhigimont Montville Umer died, and after his cell on Grand Duke, his son Vikind, and another son Erdvil have to be Duke in Novogradak, and all cities Grumpiu was given a city Ashmiany, and now dukes and now it's called Ashmiany-Ashmiansky Povet. Yakshis got city now called Yeshishki, and Yeshishki Povet. A Grovzhis, which also called Grovzhishkami, also был назван Гравжишками. He got also another party called Гравжишки. От Грумпя was born Gastold, от Ейшеса born Davain, от Гровжеса born Manvid. Then we return to previous. And the Grand Duke Vikind was in Zhigimont-10 land, Yerdvil in Novagradak, and then Vikind died, and after him was become Duke Zhivibud, Grand Duke Lithuanian, and both Lithuania and Žemaitija, Yerdvil in Novagradak, and other Rus cities. Many years was governor Yerdvil, and he lived in the cities and died. And after his become Duke his son Mingaila, and after his death, after death of his father, Mingaila took army and went war on city Polotsk, and Polotsk was governor was by city Vechem. It's called, like they commonly decided how to live, and same as Great Novgorod and Pskov, and he разбил Polotsk and сжег the city Gorodень, and Gorod Polotsk took and made himself Duke of Polotsk, and he was Duke of Polotsk and Novagradak, and lived many years and died, and left after himself two sons, Skirgaylo and Genvil. Skirgaylo became Duke Novagradak, Genvil Duke of Polotsk, and took Genvil of Duke of Tver, married the daughter of Tver called Maria. Because of her, he changed to Orthodox, called they call it Russian Orthodox, and he got name Yuri. And that Yuri governor not much time, was governor and died, and left after himself in Polotsk his son Boris, and that Boris created city monastery, Orthodox monastery on up in Polota, half mile from city Boris and Gleb, in monastery Belchitz. Extension follow.